BG Hayden Silly, PHNX Sports. Good to see you again. On Friday, 18 points, 4 blocks. Today, 27 points, 4 blocks. Just how have you been able to find your rhythm this quick?
Just getting back into it. Just practicing every day, going hard. My teammates believing in me, just supporting me. That means a lot. Defense, like I said, in that preseason game, my defense was horrible. So I knew that was like my big focus coming out, because you can always, that's effort. That's effort. So just coming out and having a good defensive game, trying to have another good one, and then trying to get the offense going as well.
Hey, Brittany, Eliav Gabay to your right. Eliav Gabay, Sports 360 AZ. So, as Hayden mentioned, dominant performance today, but what do you feel like you add to this team off the court in the locker room?
Anybody that knows me know I'm a big kid, so I bring humor. I think off the court, try to get the team together, have them come over, play cards, Uno, sorry, trouble, all that, and just having a good time. And that's when you really start building that chemistry and learning each other on the court, but learning them off the court too. It just brings the team together a lot better, honestly, when, you really take the time to care and, just get to know somebody.
And now in the second half, y'all obviously tightened it up and tightened the screws a little bit. What do you feel like improved in the second half for y'all?
I think we just all kind of locked in together a little bit more, trying to tighten up the small things, not rushing, just trying to find the best option. I think we definitely need to come out like that. We can't wait. This league is so good. You can't wait till the second half to tighten it up, because at that point, you're really on a uphill battle. But if we can do what we did in that second half and the first half next game, and then have it consistently throughout the game, I think we'll be in a really good place.
Hey, Brittany, Josh White from ESPN. What were your feelings during the pregame? And then at the tip, it looked like you were wiping your eye. Was it a tear? Was it something?
It may have been a little dust in my eye. It was a little dusty. But no, it was it was emotional in the back. Just seeing some of the clips, and then coming out. Vince, you set me up with that song. Oh my God. Oh my God. But no, it was really good. It was really good. Part of the process of healing is, just kind of letting it out. So I got choked up a little bit, but tried to hide it, but I see you caught it.
What was it like playing in front of your folks?
That was amazing. That was amazing. I don't think I've played in front of everybody in one place, honestly, since like high school, honestly. So just having everybody here right now, and, like I said before, didn't know when that was going to happen, if it would happen, depending on how long it was. It could have been a lot different. So just having them here, just spending time with them and playing in front of them, that got me choked up. Yeah, that one got me. Mm-hmm.
Brittany, Luke, I dropped this probably last time. Apologies. Luke in 12 Sports. You had made an impact right from the very beginning of the game. First one to score and one. How satisfying was it for you just to maybe send a message, I'm back home, I'm here?
I never try to get tied up into, all the outside stuff and, trying to say, oh, I'm back. Granted, I did say it after that 3, but starting off the game, that wasn't my mindset. My mindset was, if I'm the first option, okay, I got to go score it. If I'm not, then I need to get my player open or whatever it is. But it always feels good when the first bucket goes down. But just trying not to get caught up in all that, I let y'all, set the stage for the matchups and this and the clash of the bigs and all that, but I just play.
Brittany Griner, CBS Mornings. Your team is throwing support behind Bring Our Families Home.
Mm-hmm.
What did those letters of support mean to you during your detention, and why is it so important that fans are able to send those letters to people
I mean, you're so far away from all your loved ones, people you know, people you don't know, and when you get those letters, you know, you have some really bad days, and you get hope. I said it before, hope's a dangerous thing, especially when it doesn't come through. But getting those letters like that right there, it makes you feel like you're at home. And then, you know, it's just a nice touch. You know, we're so tied to our phones and everything, and just send texts or just put an emoji or something. But when someone actually takes the time to write a letter to you, it's so personal. You know, they took the time out their day to do that. It was funny. I was like, ooh, how do you even write a letter anymore? But no, that meant a lot. Like, that helped me out a lot to just keep fighting, keep, you know, hope alive.
BG, Lena Washington, 12 News Phoenix. We saw that some of you and some of your teammates got those custom pieces, hoodies, your button down from Jocelyn Hugh, local designer. What did you think of your piece and the details that she kind of put together to make yours so special?
Oh, it was amazing. I loved my shirt, actually, a lot. You know, I had pieces from my wife who, you know, I mean, she's the true MVP, honestly. You know, everything that she did for me. But so having her, you know, graduation stripes on my shoulder was amazing. The rainbow stitching, everything that went into it, every little fine detail, it was amazing. I mean, killing it.
BG, M.A. Vopel from ESPN.com. You know, we always think of professional sports as a business, but the Mercury has never wavered in their support for you as a family member, not just as an employee. When you were drafted here, could you ever imagine that you would have this kind of love from a franchise and a community, and how much has that meant with everything you've gone through and what you want to continue to do for the rest of your career?
You know, when I got here, you could feel the love, you could feel the support, and any time that I ever came to the organization, you know, challenged the Valley and everybody to come out and help out on things. The hurricane in Houston, and we threw, I mean, it wasn't thrown together because it was beautifully done, but on a quick scale. When I wanted to do the shoe drive and pass out shoes out my car, and they were like, okay, let's, you know, make that a little bit safer and get more people tied into it. They never said no. It was never, well, maybe next year. No, it was always okay, and then full steam ahead. And you know, when I was gone, I saw it on even a larger scale. And I mean, that's why we made Phoenix our home. You know, how could you not when you have so much love and support from people you know, people I've never met? You know, the Valley, we come together.
Chris from the New York Times. When you hit that three and you looked at the crowd and you told them you were back, what did that moment feel like for you? It was kind of like, originally, for me, I couldn't see that you said you're back until I went on Twitter, but it felt like from there, like you were back, like you were leading the crowd, like you were like the conductor and everyone was yelling with you. Like, what was that moment like for you?
That moment was very special, honestly. It took me back to my last season playing. Just felt really good, honestly. It was a crazy moment. Oh man, they got me saying all that.
Hi, BG, Alexis Davis, Phoenix Mercury. How does it feel to play for one of the only WNBA franchises that has an official name for its fan base?
It means everything. You know, anybody that comes to this game knows, you know, the X Factor and everybody. You're gonna see, hear, feel the intensity, and it's every single night from the start of the game to the end. The X Factor shows up, and they're going to be loud and crazy in the stands and all that. So, and we feed off that. You know, we really need that. You know, especially when there's low moments, we need that. We need that energy from everybody, and you know, being able to play in front of them means everything to me. I don't take it for granted. That's for sure.
You mentioned the emotion you felt in the pregame ceremony. What was it like trying to balance that and soak that all in, by also knowing in a few minutes the ball's going to get tipped and you had to get your game face on?
Yeah, I mean, just feeling it and then trying to like put it to the side, you know, a little bit. But I mean, it's just a balancing act. with anything, I said it last time in media, with any job that you have, from the biggest to the smallest, whatever you have going on, when you get to work, you got to work. Like my team depends on me. The fans want to see a good product out there. And, it's my job to deliver that no matter what I have going on. I have to leave it in the locker room, come out, do my job. So just kind of keep telling myself that.
Hi, Jeff Metcalf. I was going to ask you that balance question too, but since that already got asked, can you just talk about kind of trying to reestablish some rapport with Brianna Turner? She didn't start today, and she hasn't taken any shots in 2 games. How are you trying to encourage her, and reestablish a relationship with her?
Yeah, we're trying to get it back, find the flow within the offense and where we can, get our little connection back. Just talking to her. I mean, Breezy's amazing. Breezy is a great, great player, and I love playing beside her. It's just for all of us, we're all learning. I find myself in spots where I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be here. So I can only imagine, how it is and the team changing and all that. So just talking to her, staying in her ear, keeping her motivated, and it's gonna come. We'll see. We'll see the BG Breezy, 2-man team for sure.
Hey, BG, Nick Soletti from ABC 15. What I'd like to know is you're an athlete, so we know that your body is trained, mentally you are trained as well. How have you used all of this training to mentally get you to this point and now get you on the other side of this?
You got to lock in. Every day I come to the gym, you got to lock in and get going. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But, from the moment I started playing, you got conditioned with that, going through college, making it to the pros, playing overseas. There's always something at the Olympics. There's always something, as much as we want to have a perfect season and not have any adversity or go through any, trials, it happens. So each time you learn something new about yourself, you learn, okay, I can get over that. I can get over that hump. So then when the next thing comes, like, oh, I can get over that. I can succeed. So just remembering all those little moments and that got me here to get me past whatever is in front of me right now.
Thanks.
Cassandra Negley with Yahoo Sports. It's been a long, emotional weekend, and it's focused on your return. That's why we're all here. But do you feel like as that second half went along and as you yelled, "I'm back," that maybe everything around you is starting to shift towards this is basketball, you're playing for the Mercury, you're trying to win games?
Yeah. We got the first game, done. We got this one done. We didn't get the outcome that we wanted, but I definitely feel like, finally, we can get basketball, and I hope all of y'all still keep coming out and covering this league, and not just, the BG back home opener and the detention and all that. Hopefully y'all keep coming out here to these games because, like I said, and I say it many times, we have a great product in the WNBA, and we need all the coverage we can get. Like, y'all make a difference for us, so we need every single one of y'all here.
BG, one more question for me with the 12 sports. You mentioned healing process earlier in this availability, and I'm curious, I'm sure there's a lot to work through with everything you've been through in your life. How much did tonight, it's been very quick, it just happened, but how much did tonight you think help with that healing process and continue to move forward?
No, it definitely helped. There's little stepping stones, and each one is, it could be small, it could be big, but each one matters. And, tonight was quick, and, I'll go home after all this and think about it and talk to my wife about it and all that. And it's just all healing and, getting me to a better place.
We're now going to have special presidential envoy for hostage affairs, Roger Carstens, up on stage with Brittany. He's one of the people who helped bring her home.
Thanks for getting me.
Thank
you. Don't be shy. The media helped bring BG home, so you're a part of this.
Well, Lena Washington, 12 Sports. What does this moment and being in Phoenix for this moment mean for you and the whole administration?
On a personal level, I was sitting there crying with Sheila Jackson Lee, Congresswoman from Texas, when BG came out. I think it was a very emotional moment for both of us. But I can tell you from where I sit and where the team sits in Washington, D.C., we knew that this day was going to come. We knew it was going to be hard. It would take some time. But what we saw today is exactly how I pictured it. BG home, Sherelle cheering her on, BG's family in the crowd, and BG back on the court doing what she does best, and that's playing basketball.
Impossible with the Chicago sometimes. We know that the Mercury and BG are partnered with Bring Our Families Home. I'm curious, the PSAs that we all saw throughout the game, can you speak to how impactful those actually will be as you know, the thousands of fans in attendance see those every game that they're here?
I almost feel like you were a plant because I was hoping for a question like that. So everyone seems to think that the U.S. government brings people home, and we don't. What brought BG home, number one, BG stayed strong and resilient under some very trying conditions and exhibited character and leadership. But there's this whole team that brings people home, and the government simply partners with folks like Vince, with folks like the Mercury, the X Factor, members of Capitol Hill, congressmen, senators, their staff, the media, civic society. We all partner together to find a way to bring someone home. And so I've had people ask, how many people have you been responsible for bringing home? The answer is always zero, because we in the government never bring someone home. It's everyone. And at the end of the day, the president's usually having to make some hard decisions. And in showing those courage to make those decisions and building off of what we all did here together, we bring BG home and we bring others home. So in bringing the Bring Our Families Home campaign to partner with the Mercury, to get this message out there, Sherelle, how are you? Good seeing you. But to partner like this, that's how we increase the awareness. And the goal is that one day when an American's taken overseas, this whole nation mobilizes to bring those people home.
Hayden Silly, PHNX Sports. It's good to meet you. Brittany's obviously talked about having hope throughout this whole process. How, in your opinion, did this administration continue to have hope throughout, you know, the setbacks, the hurdles, things of that sort?
You know, part of it is, to be frank, it's almost like we hire optimists to do this work. You have to go to bed every night knowing that you're failing 30 to 40 families because you've not brought their loved ones home. But just like BG said, it's just like basketball. When you show up the next day and step onto the court in Washington, D.C., you still have a game to play and you still have to keep pushing. So there's no option in the government to never not have hope, because at the end of the day, some people are expecting us to be that final entity that puts the ball in the net, puts the football into the goal. And so it's not really a decision to not show up and play the game. It's every day when we come to work, we have to be at our best, no matter what's going on in our lives. We have to push that aside. And like BG said, when we step onto the court, it's game time. We have to execute. So we're in a way required to have optimism to get the job done.
To your right, Eliav Gabay, Sports 360 AZ. What do you feel like you learned from the process of bringing Brittany home that you can help in bringing others home as well?
I might go back to what I was talking about earlier, that it's a team sport. There were times when I think the government could take maybe 70% of the action, but we'd require Sherelle to maybe bring up a little more. There were times when the Mercury came to the forefront. There were times when the ambassador downrange in Moscow was able to exhibit some more, I guess, energy or perspective. But when you bring someone home, it's never just the people in my office doing it. And to me, Brittany's case was kind of like a textbook example of that. And maybe I'll say one more thing. This is not only an example of how everyone comes together to bring an American home, an Olympian home, but it also showcases the fact that this is important to this nation. It's important to the president. It's important to the Secretary of State. But it wouldn't happen unless it was important to everyone in this room. And whether it's BG or whether it's Paul Whelan, who still remains in Russia, or now Evan Gershkovich, who's also now in Russia, we're not going to take our foot off the gas. We're going to keep pushing, and it's going to be us that eventually brings everyone home.
We'll do one more.
Josh Weinfuss, ESPN.
Hey, Josh.
How would you describe, speaking of the process, either describe it or encapsulate kind of the whole thing from conversations, negotiations? How would you kind of wrap it all up for us?
Well, it usually starts off with accepting a case, and at that point, like as soon as I took BG's case, I pictured this day. I knew that this day was going to come. In a way, you kind of build back from there. You have to determine what is it going to take to get with the other side? What's the other side going to want? What can we offer? Every case is wildly different, but you're not alone. I'm not sitting there by myself trying to execute this. We have a government, the intelligence agencies, other diplomats, people from as far as away from the, say, Department of Transportation or Commerce. Everyone in the government throws in, but it's then reaching out to this broader community that sometimes the solutions become more clear, more apparent. And then once you start to smell that scent and get on the trail, you have to pursue it to its logical conclusion, which is watching BG on the basketball court today. And it was just, you know, I'll tell you, I cried like a baby throughout that entire game just watching you play. So yeah, I hope that probably just doesn't describe it as well as you'd like, but that's how it was, that's how it felt for me.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.